Attention duelists. This is me, Phoenix, bringing you the latest pack opening from a pack that people actually give a shit about, containing newest cards and not the garbage bait pack we got last time. We're getting Vanquish Souls, we're getting Nouvelles. Let's get right into it because I am turbo stoked about them burgers. Bummer pack set. Do it the usual way. I describe the new stuff, ignore the old stuff. Alright, I'm going to mess up these names because it's not my first language. Voltis de Nouvelle. It's a level 3 ritual monster. You can summon it with a recipe card. If it's special summoned, you can draw a card. When a card or effect is activated that targets a monster on the field, or when a monster is targeted for an attack, quick effect. You contribute one Nouvelles monster you control and one attack position monster on either field. If you do, special summon one level 4 or 5 Nouvelles ritual monster from your hand or deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. Have Vanquish Soul continue. Quick play spell. Pay 500 life points. Target one Vanquish Soul monster in your graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it in defense mode. You can only activate one Vanquish Soul continue per turn. Valmanuel de Nouvelles, level 5 ritual. You can summon it with a recipe card. If it's special summoned, add one Nouvelles or recipe card from deck to the hand. You can target one attack position monster your opponent controls, tribute it, and if you do, special summon one level 6 Nouvelles ritual monster from hand or deck. This is a quick effect if this card was special summoned by the effect of a Nouvelles monster. You can only use each effect of Balmanware once per turn. Then there's Confurus de Nouvelles, level 2 ritual. You can summon it with a recipe card. If it's special summoned, you can target one spell trap on the field and destroy it. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect. You contribute this card and one attack position monster on either field, and if you do, special summon one level 3 or 4 Nouvelles ritual monster from your hand or deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. You're noticing a theme here. Got Chalice Slam, which ain't much. Unrelated Bamboo Sword. Cyber's Sage, a level 1 Cyber's Ritual Tuner. You can ritual summon this card with Signet Ritual. During your main phase, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing materials mentioned on it from your field or graveyard, including a Cyberus monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can target one Cyberus monster or ritual spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Cyber Sage once per turn. Alright, a little weird, but alright. This card's new to me. Original Bamboo Sword. Equip spell. Equip monster gains 0 attack. When the equipped monster inflicts battle damage by a direct attack, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. You can send this equipped card to the graveyard, equip one Bamboo Sword equipped spell from your deck to that one face-up onto the field, except original Bamboo Sword. And World Legacy Lance, definitely not new. It's a World Legacy. I'm not going to bother with that. It's not even rare. Signet Rollback. Quick play spell. Target one of your banished Cyberse monsters. Special summon it. During your main phase, if your life points are 2,000 or less, you can banish this card from the graveyard. Target 2 of your banished Cyberse monsters. Add them to your hand. You can only use each effect of rollback once per turn. Vanquish Soul Trinity Burst. Target one Vanquish Soul monster you control. Special summon up to 2 Vanquish Soul monsters from hand with different names from each other, neither of which has the same original attribute as the targeted monster, but negate their effects and return them to the hand during the end phase. Then you can return to the hand all cards your opponent controls that are in the same columns as the targeted monster you control and the monsters special summoned by this effect. You can only activate one Vanquish Soul Trinity Burst per turn. Nice way to bounce things back, get some space. Boy Glacia de Nouvelle, level 4 ritual. You can summon it with a recipe card. If special summoned, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyard, shuffle them into the deck. When a card is activated that targets a monster on the field, or a monster is targeted for an attack, You can tribute one Novellas and one attack position monster on either field. If you do, special summon one level 5 or 6 Novellas ritual monster from your hand or deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. We have, skipped one, Fish Recipe. Ritual spell. This card can be ritual summon any Novellas ritual monster. You must also tribute monsters from hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you summon. Then, if you summoned Brulebase de Nouvelles, you can apply the effect. Add one recipe ritual spell from deck to hand, except Fish Recipe. And we have Vanquish Soul Pluton HG, level 6/0/0, zombie. During your opponent's turn, if you control no monsters or only Vanquish Soul monsters in your main monster zone, you can special summon this card from the hand. Quick effect. You can activate one of these effects by revealing a monster in your hand with the listed attributes. If it's a fire monster, this card gains 3,000 defense. If it's dark or earth, it gains 3,000 attack. These are both stat boosts until the end of turn. You can only use each effect of Pluton HG once per turn and cannot activate more than one in the same chain. So you could make him a 3,000 by 3,000. Don't know why you would, but you can. You're not new. Vanquish Soul Calamity Caesar. Counter Trap. When an opponent's spell trap card or monster effect activates that targets a card you control while you control a Vanquish Soul monster, negate it, destroy it, and then you can inflict damage equal to the attack of one Vanquish Soul monster you control. You can only activate one Calamity Caesar per turn. We have Poultice de Nouvelles, which we have already gone over. Protect Code Talker, link 3, going up, left, and right, requiring 2 effect monsters. Your opponent cannot target link 4 or higher monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by battle. If you control a Firewall link monster, you can banish link monsters from your graveyard whose combined link ratings equal exactly 3, special summon this card from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect of Protect Code Talker once per turn. I think its arrow positioning is the really big boost to this thing. Good way to expand the link. Vanquish Soul Pantera. Beast Warrior, level 4. If you have no monsters in the main monster zone, you can special summon this card from the hand. You can activate one of these effects by revealing a monster in your hand with the listed attribute. Earth. This card cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Earth and Fire. Destroy all spells and traps in this card's column. You can only use each of the effects of Vanquish Soul Pantera once per turn and cannot activate more than one in the same chain. I guess it's kind of neat. Then there's Culinary Confrontation. Quick play spell. Choose one Novellas Pendulum monster and one Patisel Pendulum. There are Novellas Pendulum monsters? Choose one Novellas Pendulum monster and one Patisel Pendulum monster from your hand, deck, and or extra deck, and special summon both, one to each field. Also, this turn, you cannot use monsters as material for fusion, synchro, Xyz, link summon, except Novellas and Patisel. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 200 attack for each recipe in the graveyards. You can only use each effect of Concordus de Cuisine once per turn. This requires a Google. Oh. There is going to be a Novellas Pendulum monster. Not out yet, but there's going to be one. Wait a minute. No, that is out now. It came out in Age of Overlord. Wow, that is a recent card. Weird they put this out now, though. I don't think she's out now. They're getting weird with it on me. Gonfurious, Trinity Burst, Calamity Caesar, nothing new. Rarity bump. There's just a real rarity bump or a fake out. That's a real one, and it's a good one. Bale Grill de Nouvelles, the boss monster. Level 6 Ritual, you can summon it with a recipe card. If it's special summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls until the end of the turn. Then, if it was special summoned by the effect of a Novellas monster, you can tribute as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. Quick effect, you can target one attack position monster your opponent controls, tribute it. If you do, special summon one Hungry Burger from your hand or deck. You can only use each effect of Bale Grill once per turn. Neat. And then there's Signet Circuitry. Normal trap. Target one Firewall Link monster you control. Special summon any number of monsters from your graveyard to either player's zones linked to that monster. If your life points are 2,000 or less, you can banish this card from the graveyard. Return one Firewall Link monster from your graveyard to your extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster from your extra deck. You can only use each effect of Signet Circuit once per turn. Meat Recipe. Ritual spell. Can be used to summon any Nouvelles ritual monster, also tribute, blah blah blah. Then, if you summon Confurus de Nouvelles, you can apply the following. Change all defense mode monsters your opponent controls to attack mode, enabling them to be tributed. Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. Normal trap. Reveal one of each of the dark, earth, and fire monsters in your hand. Apply the following in sequence based on the number revealed. One or more, do 400 plus damage to your opponent. Then you can special summon a Vanquish Soul from your hand. Two or more, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Also, this turn, Vanquish Soul monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. 3. Inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Then you can destroy all monsters on the field. You can only activate one Vanquish Soul Snow Devil per turn. Kind of weird because I think it blows itself up because it applies them in sequence. Yes, if you do one, you special summon. And if you do 3, you blow up the whole board. Exotic Hydra. Fusion monster requiring 2 monsters you control summoned from the extra deck. Monsters your opponent controls with the same card type, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, or Link, as any material used for this card's fusion, lose attack equal to their own original attack. When this card inflicts 1,000 or more battle damage to your opponent, you can draw a card for every 1,000 damage you inflicted. So ideally, it's swinging at something that has been dropped to 0 by its own attack, and then you draw 2. Weird. Weird card. Not the best tenor I've ever opened, but I've had worse. Ooh, they're not giving me the URs. Absolutely nothing. Chef's Special Recipe. Counter Trap. When a spell trap or monster effect is activated while you control Nouvelles, negate the activation, then destroy that card if you control a monster that was special summoned by the effect of a Nouvelles monster. If you special summon Hungry Burger, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Tribute as many of your opponent's monsters you control as possible. You can only use each effect of Chef's Special Recipe once per turn. Nothing out of that one. Firewall Defensor. Level 4 Cybers. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a link summon of a Cybers, you can special summon one Firewall monster from your deck except Firewall Defensor. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except for Cybers monsters. If a Firewall monster you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. You can only use each effect once per turn. Alright. Still nothing new. Big whiffs. Here we go. Rock of the Vanquisher. It's a Link 1 requiring 1 Vanquished Soul Monster. Cannot be used as Link material. While you control a Vanquished Soul Monster, your opponent's monsters can only target monsters you control with the highest attack for attacks. During the main phase, quick effect, you can activate one of the following. Summon a Vanquished Soul Monster from your hand, or add a Vanquished Soul Monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use each effect of Rock of the Vanquisher once per turn. Then there's Link Decoder, a level 1 Link requiring 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a Cyberse Link monster with 2300 or more original attack, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. It's a Link Summon Extender. Not a bad one. But I'm wondering if that might already be an optimized playstyle, and it's just unnecessary. Hey, there's Pat to Sell. Don't think I've seen you yet. Pour le Bas des Nouvelles. Level 1 Ritual. You can summon it with a recipe. If it's special summoned, excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. You can add 1 Nouvelles card from among them to your hand and shuffle the rest back. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card in the field, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, tribute it, and 1 attack monster on either field, and if you do, special summon 1 level 2 or 3 Nouvelles Ritual monster from your hand or deck. Feel like that little Link guy was a pity UR. I am not getting URs. This is starting to feel personal. I'm offended. Nothing. Ram Clouder, which is not new. You contribute 1 monster, then target 1 Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Ram Clouder once per turn. Another Ram Clouder. Another Bamboo Sword. Firewall Phantom, level 5, Cybers. If this card is sent to the graveyard for the Link summon of a Cyberse, you can add 1 Net spell trap from deck to hand, then discard 1 card. You can banish this card from the graveyard during the end phase, shuffle 1 Cyberse monster from graveyard into the deck. Only use effect once per turn. Staff Recipe, Continuous Trap. You can target 1 ritual monster you control, special summon a Nouvelles token with 50 and 50. That is level 1. This token's level becomes the same as that monster's. You can send this face-up card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard to ritual summon a Nouvelles ritual monster from your hand by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels exactly equal the level of that monster. You can only use each effect of personal staff recipe once per turn. You know, I don't hate the contents of this pack. I would just like to see them. Another Rock, another Confrontation, and another Hydra. Whole lot of nothing. Third Hydra. Will I get a pity UR? There it is. Rom Claudia, which I don't think is new, but it's new to me. When this card is normal summoned, you can target a Cyberse monster in your graveyard who is not Rom Claudia, add it to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Cyberse from your deck except Rom Claudia. Another Respite de Personnel. And last one. Another frickin' bamboo sword. I don't want these. Put it back. See? Now you're giving me something. Hopefully. Nothing in that pack. See the RGB lights around this one? Give me something. This feels personal. All right, got the rarity bump. Now make it worth it. What in God's name are you? Cyber's to save worm. Fusion monster requiring a Cyber's Ritual Fusion Synchro Xyz or Link monster and a Cyber's monster. During your main phase, you can special summon one Cyber's monster from your hand, then make this card's level become the same as that monster. When your opponent activates a spell, trap, or card effect while you control a Link 4 or higher Cyber's monster, quick effect. You can banish this card from your field or graveyard and negate that activation. You can only use each effect of Cyber's to save worm once per turn. I don't think this deserves to be UR. I don't think it'll ever see play. I don't think original Bamboo Sword deserves to be a UR either, but keep giving it to me. All right, someone's definitely listening to me complain about the URs I'm getting. Wow. Prismatic Rare Quantum Dragon. Whatever will I do with that garbage? Why did they throw Bamboo Swords into this pack? So weird. Things that they choose to do. Alright. Last pack of this 10 set. Let's see if I get something good. It's alpha. He's not new. I might use him somewhere. I don't know. Keep it going. Keep the dream alive. The dream is slowly turning into a nightmare. Another ROM. All right. Show me. Not a bamboo sword. It's Link Decoder. Well, on the plus side, I'm absolutely getting easy UR dust. Hello. Oh, come on. There we go. Actual new card. Novella's Restaurant at table. Field spell. When this card is activated, you can add a recipe card from deck or graveyard to hand. Once per turn, you can place one ritual monster from your hand at the bottom of the deck. Draw a card. You can only Once per turn during the end phase, target 2 cards in the graveyard, including a recipe, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw a card. You can only activate 1 at table per turn. It's good. It's the Archetypal Searcher, used for recipes, and it does more. Good cycling. Another Rock of the Vanquisher. Nothing. 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 All right. Not too keen on giving me new stuff, so I'm going to hit skip and we'll go over what it is. Give me this new. There's some stuff. How hard was that game? Vanquish Soul, Caesar Valius, level 8, 3000 by 1500. During the main phase, quick effect. Target one non dragon Vanquish Soul monster you control. Return it to their hand. If you do, special summon this card from the hand. You can activate one of these effects by revealing monsters in your hand with the listed attributes. Earth. This card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects this turn. Earth, Fire, or Dark. Earth, Fire, and Dark. Destroy one other card on the field. You can only use each of the effects of Vanquish Caesar once per turn, and you can activate more than one in the same chain. Then there's Vanquish Soul Jiaolong, level 5 Worm. You can reveal a card in your hand to activate a If you reveal cards in your hand to activate a Vanquish Soul card or effect, you can special summon this card from the hand. Quick effect. You can activate one of these effects by revealing monsters in your hand with the listed attributes. Fire. Change the battle position of one monster on the field. 2 Fire. Add one Vanquish Soul card from deck to your hand, except Soul Jiaolong. You can only use each effect of Soul Jiaolong once per turn and can activate more than one in the same chain. Then there's Vanquish Soul Dust Devil. Quick play spell. Target one Vanquish Soul monster you control, change its battle position, then you can change face up monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position up to the number of Vanquish Soul monsters you control with different names. You can only use each effect of Dust Devil one. You can only activate one Dust Devil once per turn. And let's go in for the last one. Skippity skip. All right. I got the cover card. The Link 6 Firewall Dragon Singularity, requiring 3+ effect monsters. Quick effect. You can target cards your opponent controls or in their graveyard up to the number of different card types, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro Xyz you control and in your graveyard. Return them to the hand. Also, this card gains 500 attack for each returned card. If a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can target one Cyberse monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. You can use each effect of Firewall Dragon Singularity once per turn. Got another Bale Grill. Got this thing. Got today's menu. Butchie La Carte. Normal spell. Reveal 2 Novelle's monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent chooses one for you to add to the hand, and you shuffle the other into the deck. Then you can add one of these cards from deck to graveyard to your hand based on the monster type added. If it was a Beast Warrior, add a fish recipe. If it was a Warrior, add meat recipe. You can only activate one La Carte, today's menu, per turn. Good. All right. Take a look at this, see what's new, and see what never showed up. Well, it's only lights up the new ones. Oh, wow, they actually put her in. Poissonnière des Nouvelles, a level 1, scale 8 pendulum monster. If you control a ritual monster, you can target one monster on the field, special summon this card, then change that monster's battle position. You can only use this effect of her once per turn. Her pendulum effect is... No, that was her pendulum effect. So she can special summon herself from the pendulum zone. Her monster effect is, if this card is normal or special summon, you can activate one of these effects. Add one level 1 ritual monster or one recipe card from deck to hand. Or you can banish any number of recipe cards from your graveyard, special summon one Nouvelle's ritual monster from your hand with a level equal to the number banished. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card in the field is tributed and added to the extra deck face up, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. So she's a... I suppose she's supposed to be a starter. Then we have Stake Your Soul. Normal spell. Reveal one monster in your hand. Special summon a Vanquish Soul monster with the same attribute, but a different name from the deck. But return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only activate one Stake Your Soul per turn. S-Force Night Chaser. A Link 1 requiring one non-Link S-Force monster. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters cannot target the monster in its column for attacks. During the main phase, quick effect. You can target one S-Force monster you control, shuffle it into the deck, Then special summon a banished S-Force monster. You can only use each effect of S-Force Night Chaser once per turn. Well, this effect of Night Chaser once per turn. And there is more the game just didn't give me, such as Vanquisher Soul Heavy Borger. Not to be confused with the Hungry Burger. During the main phase, you can target a non-machine, vanquish soul monster control, return it to the hand. If you do, summon this card from the hand. Quick effect, activate this effect, revealing cards. Get a thing. If you reveal a dark, draw one card. If you reveal an earth and a fire, inflict 1,500 damage to your opponent. You can only use each effect once per turn. And that is. What I feel like there's someone missing. Oh, right. Vanquish Soul Razan, or Raisin Bran. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can add a non-warrior Vanquish Soul monster from deck to hand. Quick effect, reveal a thing, do things. Fire. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. Fire and Dark. Destroy all other monsters in this card's column. You can only use each effect once per turn. You can only use one effect per chain. And that is the pack. There were some things that I did not expect to be in here, and there were a couple things that I think are bad. But it is what it is. The Burger Boys are here, which means it's time for me to get in the kitchen and get cooking. So I'm going to go do that and leave you all to enjoy the rest of your days. Have a good one. Or not. I'm not your boss. Bye.